Welcome back to Math Mini Lessons, and in today's lesson, we're going to look at division models with fractions. We're going to look at different models of division and what it looks like in real life, because guess what? You don't have real world problems that look like perfect expressions. They're mathematical, but we have to create a mathematical representation and we have to learn how to recognize them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use RAISE to break down this multiple choice question and be able to look at the model to understand it and figure out how it's represented as an equation. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to read the question. The model below represents a division problem. Which equation is represented by the model? So we know it's going to be division, and since it's division, we know that means it's going to be some type of even share. Let's assign the question type. And this has to do with division, so this is absolutely an NS question, a number sense question. And we're in a number sense unit, so that makes a lot of sense. Identifying the key facts. Now, most of the facts aren't even in words, they're actually in the picture. And so you have to look really carefully to think, what is the picture representing? And I see a value here. Can I figure out how much? Is there a total? It's the first thing I'm looking for. And I see the first thing really represented is this part here, which is worth a little more than 2. So 2 and what is this fraction part here? So I'm going to look at my number line. 2 and something 3. So it's broken up into thirds. 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3 will make a whole. Meaning this is 2 and 1/3. That is my total. And because it's division, that means I'm evenly sharing. So look at the picture. Can I figure out how it's being shared? Look for clues. How is this 2 and 1/3 possibly being split up or evenly shared? And I see lots of lines here, but this is important right here, Math Marbles, because this is telling me that it is being shared into 2/3. It's categorizing 2/3 for us. Even this part is not even completely done. So it's shared by 2/3. That is our divisor. Is there anything else we can see in the picture as we think about it? Can I see how much is in there? How many 2/3 do I have? Okay, well, I noticed, and this is where I'm going to use the red to help me out. So this is one group of 2/3, 2 groups of 2/3, 3 groups of 2/3, and it would have been 4, but I noticed that this isn't completely filled here. This is not completely filled. Matter of fact, it's only halfway filled. So this is telling me that I have 1, 2, 3.5. I have 3 1/2 groups of 2/3. So there's a lot in this picture that I had to unpack and notice. So what is going to be our strategy? My strategy, we're going to write this out as a division problem, which means I need my total, how it's being shared, and this is my quotient is my answer part. Okay, so I already know that my total, ultimately I have 2 1/3. So because of that, I can absolutely eliminate this distractor, the 7/1. It doesn't make sense in this context. I don't have 7 being evenly split. I have 2 1/3. I understand why they picked 7. It makes sense because I have 7 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how are they sharing it? They're sharing them into 2/3. And how many pieces do I ultimately get when I share that? I have 3.5. All right, so now I just have to look to see, are there any other distractors here that make sense? Well, definitely the 2/3 is a distractor because this is not a total. The 7 ones didn't make sense because this was only 7 pieces. The 7 was not a total. The 2/3 was not the total. And now I just have to choose between my last two, the 2 1/3 divided by 2/3, which one has the correct quotient at the end, and that one is A. So this is the answer that makes the most sense. So hit pause for a minute so you can also note my thinking. And the biggest takeaway that I want you to see, Math Marbles, is how I'm really trying to understand that visual, because in a lot of word problems, sometimes the visual has information that is essential for me to unpack. It's not always very clear. And I also hope it made sense how I was using raise in the process. So let's do the next problem. And again, I'm going to read the problem. What is the value of the expression? Value of the expression. My question type, this is absolutely an NS question. My important information, I'm doing, well, the 3/8 divided by 1 1/2. It's my important information. My strategy is going to be to divide. So I'm going to do some division work here. 3/8 divided by 1 1/2. Let's change that. There are a few things we need to change here. First, let's make sure that we change this number to an improper fraction. So I have 3/2. So 3/8 divided by 3/2. That's our question. And we're going to use keep, change, flip. 3/8 times 2/3, and that gives us 6/24. So just at a glance, just looking at it, I don't even see 6/24, but I do see an answer that had a 6 in it. That's a distractor. So let's eliminate that distractor. That happens a lot where kids just recognize one number, they freak out and they don't see the whole thing, and they just choose it and keep going. So what is missing here, Math Marbles, that I forgot to do? I have not yet simplified. So let's use our common factors of 6 and 24. 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And we have the 1 in common, the 2 in common, the 3 in common, a lot of them, and the 6 in common. So our greatest common factor is actually going to be 6. So you're going to divide both by 6, and I get 1/4. This is our answer in simplest form. So let's look at our other distractors. Our other distractor here was a 4. And we see our final answer here. 1/4, it completely matches our work. So hit pause, jot this down into your notes. And again, biggest takeaways is how we're using raise and making sure that we're using proper algorithms for actually solving our NS problems. Great job today. Get some more practice so you can also become a pro. Just takes practice. And we'll see you in the next lesson.